When we hear the word trauma, we often think of the big, overwhelming traumas, but it's actually the little t traumas, the things that happen that build up over time in childhood that really impact us profoundly as adults. It's the being invalidated, the not being seen or heard, the getting lost in a supermarket and never really having the trauma of that validated. These are the things that really play into our development as adults. Now, acknowledging those, going back and uncovering them and unearthing them, because in most cases we don't even consciously know that they exist, that is what sets us on the path to healing. Because if you were never seen or heard as a child, this is going to impact how you show up in the world. It's going to decide how visible you want to be, how much you're willing to speak your truth. Because how it works is that children between the age of 0 to 7, their brains operate out of a theta brainwave state, which is the meditative hypnotic state. And we know that in hypnosis we absorb everything, and that's what children do. They absorb everything. So if a parent at that age says to them, "Oh, why'd you have to be so stupid?" the child's brain can't allow for nuance. Now, even if the parent meant no harm or intent by it, the child can't allow for nuance. So all the child thinks is, "I am stupid." And what happens is that activates the reptilian brain, the very old part of the brain, and the reptilian brain is concerned with nothing other than survival. So over time, every time the child is going to then do something that is similar to the thing they did that got them called stupid, the reptilian brain will rear its head and prevent them from doing that. So if that thing was speaking their truth, saying something that was true to them, or maybe they were really excited about something and they got overly publicly excited and they were laughed at, they will stop doing this. The reptilian brain will tell them to not do that because it's going to call them stupid, and that is not survival. We need to survive. We need to be accepted in this world. Essentially, these small t traumas push us out of our authenticity and into the false self, the ego self, where really we forget who we authentically were at all, because the main focus was on survival. It was on being accepted. So we were spending the time molding ourselves to be the version of ourselves that we thought was going to be accepted. And of course, this leads to codependency, to insecurity, and generally operating out of the ego self and not from a place of intuition. Every trauma, big or small, needs to be processed through the body in order for us to show up in this world as our true, authentic selves. And we do that by going back through inner child and working through our inner child and uncovering these traumas. And you can even do that yourself at home by sitting down with your journal in the silence and allowing your higher self to come through and perhaps remind you of some of these experiences. And as you start writing them down, it will all start making sense. You'll start seeing patterns of behaviors, patterns of the way that you acted and the things you've been preventing yourself from doing. And usually it is the being seen and the being heard, the wanting to feel validated, the wanting to feel accepted. But sitting down, just doing that simple exercise and doing it continuously, repetition, will enable that to start coming forth, and you will be able to start operating more out of a place of authenticity.